Good morning, Fitness with Zoe moms. We are going to do another corrective workout today. All you're going to need is a broomstick. If you have a broomstick, I'm sure most of us do, right? Just twist off the end. Okay, we need essentially a light or non-weighted piece of stick. Okay, I'm using a PVC pipe. Again, a broom will work just as efficiently. If you don't have either of those, find something long and sturdy, but that doesn't weigh anything. All right, so what we're gonna do today is we're just gonna do a few movements that we're really gonna cycle through for quite some time. It's not gonna be, again, really high energy. We're not gonna try to be getting the heart rate up too high, just because that's where I'm at in my pregnancy. But if you would like to up the intensity a little bit more, you could always do your reps a little bit faster. Maybe you have a very, very light, lightly weighted barbell of some sort. You could use that, especially if you're a little more advanced. But I want to get the reps in today rather than pushing the strength quite as much, because we're trying to encourage proper motor patterns, okay? So how do you do that? Lots of practice, right? Doing it over and over and over again the correct way. So anyways, this is your workout. It is your body, your baby. So if something does not feel great or doesn't feel like you want to do it today, or is just not agreeing with you, please don't do it, all right? Or modify, or maybe you just need to take a little bit longer of a break. Okay, so everybody is at a different place. Again, this class is going to be made for any level, any trimester, all right? Just because we're at that point now, all right, where you're pretty much going to be there. There is going to be a movement that might be that's going to be bent over, okay? We're going to be in a bent over position. So this is too challenging on your low back. Okay, what you can do, I'll show you a modification for that, or how to, excuse me, break it up a little bit, just so you're not having so much time under tension. But otherwise, we should be okay. Okay, it actually is good to be in that position as long as you're not feeling too much pain, because it's going to help you keep your low back strong. All right, and we need that low back strong for support for all the weight that we're carrying in the front. Anyways, let's get started off. We're going to begin with our warm-up. All right, and again, have that PVC pipe nearby if you'd like. We are going to use a wall today, so make sure you have some sort of wall to work with. We're not going to be wall sitting, all right, but we're going to be standing against it, okay? And you want to have a little bit of a range of motion for your upper body, all right? So make sure you have a little bit of space on a wall nearby, okay? All right, so let's get started off with our warm-up. I'm actually going to use the PVC pipe to assist with some balance, all right? So if you don't need it or you don't want to use it, don't worry about it. But otherwise, if we are using it, what we're going to do is hold it in that left hand and remove the right leg. We don't want to put all of our weight on that pipe. We want to keep most of our weight on our left foot, all right? We're just kind of using it to stabilize. So let's get started off lifting that right leg out in front of us, keeping it nice and straight. And we're not going to work too fast and not swinging. All right, our muscles are probably cold and tight, so we don't want to be right away taking it through a fast range of motion. All right, that's going to be a style of stretching called ballistic, and that's really not ideal, especially for this point in your life right now. And let's switch those sides. And notice I have a little bit of a bend in my knee, again, just to protect the hamstring. I don't want to overstretch it. So don't worry about taking it too high or trying to get a stretch the whole way through. What we're really doing right now is activating, all right, that hip flexor and that quad. That's really more of my focus for right now while we take the hamstring through the dynamic range of motion. And we'll switch sides. This time we're going to take that right foot out, making sure that we're flexing the foot. And again, I'm not putting a lot of weight here, right? I have a light touch. All I'm doing is just activating my lateral, my abductors, my hip abductors, and switch those legs. Yeah, very nice. And try to keep a strong foot on the floor. So what I don't want you to do is to lock the knee out. I want you to keep that knee soft, but we're standing up nice and tall. Good, and we'll switch back. Now we're going to take that right foot behind us. So all we're doing right now is we're taking our time to warm up the hip girdle, okay? We do have some squats today. Like I said, we're gonna be in a bent over position. So since we're gonna be there, we want those muscles to be ready to be essentially isometric for a little bit of time. Good, and we'll take it back. And being that it is a corrective workout, all right, corrective meaning that we are trying to correct muscular imbalances, correct our posture. So that is going to be the goal of today's workout. That was what I was keeping in mind with the programming. Okay, so we're just doing movements that are really good for your body to encourage and enforce proper posture. All right, because that's always, always, always the foundation of what we should be looking at, no matter who we are, what we're doing, athlete, non-athlete, or what our goals are. All right, especially right now since we're pregnant, because our center of gravity has changed a little bit. All right, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up with a knee tuck on that right side. And maybe just go a little bit faster now. Maybe just a quick touch to the floor, and then we bring it up. And we'll switch legs. So again, just warming up that hip girdle to start. We're taking a little bit of a slower route, and that's okay. Especially if you're farther along in your pregnancy, we're gonna take it out to the side now, knee tuck out to the side. If you're farther along in your pregnancy, all right, you're gonna quickly be realizing getting some sciatic pain probably, right? Or your body feels a lot more stiff and sore, especially in the morning, if it's morning for you. Good, another leg. Again, knee tuck to the outside, opening up that inner hip, the groin, and activating our external rotators while we do this. All right, I'm gonna switch sides and I'm gonna do a butt kick here. So heel to glute, heel to glute. Good, another leg. Pretty much down with the hip girdle and the legs here. All right, next what we're gonna do, we're gonna take that PVC pipe, that broom in our hands, hold it about hip level, with those hands to be about shoulder width apart. And from here, we're just gonna hinge forward, keeping that PVC pipe nice and close to the body. Take your stance as wide as you need. So make room for baby, make room for belly. So I'm gonna take a wide stance because that's what feels good for me for today. If you're not in a wide stance, that's fine. Just make sure we're keeping that back flat. We're keeping our knees soft. Right, allow those knees to bend here. Doing some deadlifts. I want you to keep your chest proud, so try not to reach forward, right? No cat back. So puff out that chest, roll those shoulders down, and then work through your deadlifts. Squeeze your butt at the top. So we're gonna hit all directions of movement. And the hip girdle and the upper body and shoulder girdle. It's where a lot of our imbalances tend to occur. Very nice. All right, next I want you to put that PVC pipe on your upper back, your shoulders, and we're gonna do some back squats. Again, keep as wide of a stance as you need to. Keeping the heels glued to the floor. Allow those toes to point out, probably about a 45, whatever feels good for you. And drive the knees apart. Good, and next we're going to stand up tall. Bring that PVC pipe in front of our hips, take a nice wide grip. From here, we're going to take a pass through. So, keeping those elbows locked, we don't want to bend them. We also don't want to catch as we go through. We're going to push that PVC pipe away, up, and bring it behind us. So we're just going to take our shoulder girdle through a range of motion here. Shouldn't be to a point where we get stuck and we have to do one of these. Okay, if that's the case, open up your grip a little bit more. Okay, so you want to take your time, go nice and slow. Try to keep your eyes up, try not to look down. Bring your grip a little bit closer. And then take it back around again. And again, maybe one more time, bring that grip even closer if it feels okay. All right, feels good for me. All right, let's keep those hands about hip width and we're gonna raise it up. Touch it behind the head, press overhead again, and then back down to the hips. So straight arms, raise it up, touch behind the head. Notice my elbows are in line with my wrists, right? I'm not in a W, I'm not pinching in. Press up and lower down. Bring it up, touch the shoulders, press and lower. Bring it up, touch the shoulders, press and bring it down. So just continue this range of motion here. It might be a little challenging to press, to touch to the shoulders, right, to the traps. All right, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep that overhead. We're gonna shrug up, shrug down. Shrug up, shrug down. Maybe add a little toe raise in there. Keep a nice strong grip, keep those arms long. Good, and we're gonna bring it down, bring it up. We're gonna touch to the chest now. Bring it down, bring it up, touch to the chest. Bring it down, bring it up, touch the chest. Still in our warm up, almost done. All right, we're gonna leave that PVC pipe in our front rack. If you're not sure what that means, it just means we're holding it out in front of us, touching it to our collarbone if possible. And let's do a squat and then a press. And we're gonna touch it to the shoulders. Squat and press. Touch the shoulder. Squat, press. Touch behind. Squat, press. Chest. Squat, press. Shoulders. Squat, press, and chest. All right, last thing. Okay, we're gonna take a supinated grip, so palms up. We're gonna pull that into our chest, just below, right, the breast line. So I would say just about where those floating ribs start. Itchy belly. So just where those floating ribs start. What I want you to do is I want you to focus on squeezing those elbows together while you're here, and then you'll press out in front of you. Squeeze the elbows, press. Squeeze, press. Squeeze, press. Continue. Should be feeling a little more heated, pretty warm through the joints. All right, and rest. All right, so let's just do a few arm circles, shake it out. Over unders. Come up onto those tippy toes. Just gonna stretch out my calves a little bit, they're a little tight. And switch to the other side. Awesome. All right, we ready to work, ladies? Okay. So we're gonna get started off on the wall. On the wall, yeah. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna stand flat against the wall. All right, with your feet a few inches in front. You're gonna kind of tuck your butt because I want your spine to be flush. So you shouldn't be able to sneak your hand behind your back. All right, so what you're gonna do is keep that spine nice and flush. Even bring the back of your head to the wall. So you're gonna kind of make a double chin here. So it's gonna kind of feel a little uncomfortable. At that point, you're gonna make a field goal or a cactus with your arms, pressing towards the wall, but If you can't actually make contact, that's okay. Just keep those fingers open. All right, chest proud. Again, we're gonna press backwards into that wall. But again, if you're not touching, don't force it, because what's gonna happen is if you're out here and then you try to touch, you're gonna start to do this, and now we lost the point. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna work in intervals. So let's get started. Palms out, fingers wide, spine flush against the wall. We're gonna reach up all the way, bring those hands over the shoulders, and then bring it down to our cactus. Reach up, over the shoulders, down to our cactus. We're not touching the hands together. All right, we're just bringing them to shoulder width. And gently, gently, gently try to draw your belly in towards the wall. Not too intensely. And you're gonna feel it's pretty exhausting already. So this is one of my favorite corrective exercises. Super simple, super easy, hard to mess it up. All right, but there's a lot of activity now going on through that upper back. Okay, we don't need to go fast. Just work at a pace that is good for you. We're almost there. Whew. Good, for 3, 2, and 1. We'll come off that wall. All right, next we're gonna take that PVC pipe nice and wide in our hands, keep it overhead, and let's do some overhead squats. All right, so keeping that PVC pipe in line with the middle of the head, not behind us, not in front of us. I want your eyes to stay up. Get as low as you can without compromising your back or lifting your heels off the ground. So those heels need to stay grounded here. Good, good. Make sure we can wiggle those toes around. Keep those arms long. All right, shoulders away from the ears. We're pressing towards that ceiling at all times. We got about 15 seconds left. Keep getting your reps in. Overhead squat is probably, in my opinion, the most corrective exercise that you can do. If you have any muscular imbalances, it will expose them. All right, and rest. Woo! All right, next, we're gonna take our palms out. All right, we're gonna hinge forward, get to that deadlift position. We're gonna row. Bent over row, you're gonna squeeze those elbows tight against the body at all times. So now your back's working isometrically, your glutes are working isometrically, your hamstrings are working isometrically, and we are staying concentrically and eccentrically active through the lats, through the triceps, right? And we're pulling, pulling, pulling. We don't pull enough. So again, just keep a steady pace that works for you. Doesn't need to be super fast. Even though it's unweighted, we should still be feeling activity through those lats, right? These muscles right here. So squeeze those elbows together the whole way. Almost there for 3, 2, and 1. Stand up tall. All right, and our last exercise. We're gonna back rack that PVC, chest proud, and just press overhead. Back rack press. Super simple, I know. All right, we wanna make sure we're not hyperextending, so try not to pop your ribs out. Again, pull your belly in a little bit, tuck your butt a little. Keep your eyes straight ahead. Touch those shoulders, those traps, and then press directly up. Even though it's unweighted, we should be feeling a lot of activity going on. Okay, keep it up, ladies. So we're almost done with round 1. Woo! How about that? Okay, keep it up, keep it up. No breaks yet. Almost there for 3, 2, and 1, rest. All right, right back to that wall, immediately onto our wall reach. Round number 2, let's get started. And again, I'm keeping my fingers open wide, right? Coming down to my cactus, then back to shoulder width. And I'm pressing backwards against that wall or towards that wall at all times. Keeping my spine flush. Every vertebrae touching that wall. So we're doing a little bit more upper back today, a little upper back focus, just because farther along you get, I tend to notice the worse my thoracic posture has become. Because I'm sleeping on my side all the time, my chest is becoming heavy, right? It's pulling my shoulders forward. I'm not able to do quite as much upper body and pulling as I was before. And rest, grab your PVC, back to our overhead squats. So arms up, let's drop those hips low. Let's face this way this time. Keep your gaze straight ahead. Again, make sure that PVC pipe is directly over the midline. So what we don't want is it to be out in front of us or to be behind us. Shouldn't be feeling a stretch at this point. And again, just work at a pace that's good for you. Your heart rate's going to creep up a little bit, but you should be able to maintain conversation if we're trying to monitor. If you're not monitoring, then whatever's good for you. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next, we're getting to our bent over position. All right, so deadlift position, butt back, knees bent, pull, squeezing those elbows tight. If you need to modify, this is too much time, pause halfway through, or when you feel like you need to, or touch, release, and stand. All right, you can do something like this. So you release it to the floor, then stand up tall. Pull, release, then stand. Again, that's if you need more of a modified version. Squeezing those elbows tight against the body the whole time. Good, keep it up, ladies, almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, grabbing it just outside of the shoulders. And back rack press. Standing up nice and tall. Good posture, flat back, eyes ahead of you. Good, nice work, ladies. And we are coming in at the end of round 2. We're going to get started with round number 3 next. Taking minimal breaks here because we're not working too fast. But again, if you need to, just pause or take an exercise out, right? Just rest for that round. I shouldn't say that round, for that exercise. Or just go as long as you can until you need a break. It's your body. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. PVC pipe down. And we're back on the wall. Round number 3. Again, when I say listen to your body, I mean, right, there's a difference between our muscular fatigue, right, and any bad discomfort or pain. Or if your heart rate's getting too high. Good. Fingers wide, cactus, and reach overhead. Make sure we get to that full extension at the top. The whole way through our full range of motion, pressing backwards. Good. Nice work, ladies. Almost there. We got 3, 2, 1. All right. Grab that PVC. We have overhead squats. Again, a wider grip. Let's begin. Drop those hips down. Knees out. Really ground through the heels. So dig those heels into the floor. Keep your eyes straight ahead. Make sure we're pressing that PVC pipe towards the ceiling, but keeping space between the shoulders and the ears. About 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. All right, into our bent over position. Palms forward. Let's begin. Row. Squeeze those elbows together the entire time behind you. Keep your eyes on that floor. Chin tucked. Again, if we need a modified, you'll stand up, then pull. Stand up, then pull. And try not to just be doing this, right? We're not curling it. We're trying to use those back muscles. Yes, it's unweighted. And yes, if we were an advanced strength athlete, this might not feel like too much. But you can create your own tension. So actively pulling those muscles together, squeezing that PVC pipe. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And our last movement of the round to finish off round 3. Let's go back rack press. Woo! We got 2 more rounds to go, ladies. So we're gonna work for 20 minutes. 20 minutes essentially non-stop. You gotta make sure we're keeping that chest proud at all times. And squeeze those shoulder blades together as you bring it down and as you press up. Good, keeping that chin down, almost there. 3, 2, 1. All right, that was 3 rounds. We got 2 more to go. Back against that wall. Let's go feet a little farther in front. Tuck that chin, let's reach up. And bring it down, cactus. Fingers wide, palms open. Press towards the wall. Whether that's with the forearm, the wrists, and the hand, all of it. Every piece of that upper body is pressing into that wall. Good, about 10 more seconds, keep it up. You can hear me scratching the wall, right? 3, 2, 1, and break. Right on to our overhead squats. Wide grip, chest proud. Let's begin. Gotta make sure we're trying to break parallel if we can in our squat. Make sure you're not crashing down. Again, heels down, knees out. Right? We don't want to be on our toes. You should have little to no weight on those toes. You should be able to lift them up when you squat. Gotta keep it up, ladies. We're almost there. About 15 seconds left. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bent over position. Bent over row. Let's go. Deadlifts. Here, get to that deadlift position. Back flat. Eyes on the floor. Squeeze those elbows together behind you. Palms forward. Think about puffing your chest to that bar. Boom. Boom. Puff the chest to the bar. You're going to feel a little burn in those glutes too. You might already. About 10 seconds left, ladies. Keep it up. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Stand up tall. Last movement of the round. Back rack press. Touching those shoulders and then directly overhead. Make sure your feet are about hip width or a little wider. We don't want to be standing like this. Keep those eyes up. Try not to look down. Squeeze those shoulder blades the whole way through your range of motion. Almost there. You got about 15 seconds. And rest. All right. Last round, best round, right? Round number 5. It's going to take us to 20 minutes of work time. All right, so let's push through. Let's try to get this last round in. Fingers wide, palms open, spine flush. Try to tuck that chin, make your double chin. I know this one's really uncomfortable, but it's really, really good for you. Try to emphasize pressing into the wall with that elbow part. So not like this, right? But keeping contact between your wrist and your elbow against that wall or towards that wall. That's really going to force you to pull those shoulders back. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Overhead squat. Let's go. Wide grip. Eyes up, chest proud. Heels are down. We're pushing those knees out. Take as wide of a stance as you need to. Your toes should be about 45 degrees. You should be able to lift those toes as you squat. Make sure that PVC pipe stays directly over the midline of the head. Not behind, not in front. Keep those elbows locked out. A little bit of a micro bend. You got it, ladies. We are almost there. 15 seconds. Good. All right. Bent over row. Let's go get to your deadlift. Back flat, butt out, knees bent. Keep that chest proud. Squeeze those elbows together. Eyes on the floor. Squeeze those elbows together. We're almost there, ladies. Last couple minutes, because we're working for a minute at each station. Again, if we need that modify, we'll stand up between each rep. Right? Keep going, keep going. You got about 20 seconds. Puff that chest out to your bar. Make sure those palms are forward. 10 seconds left. You got it. Come on. Get those reps in. Try to stay parallel to the floor or close to it. 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Last exercise. Back rack press. Let's go. Press overhead and touch to those shoulder blades. Squeezing those shoulder blades together behind you. Again, even though this weighs nothing, you should be feeling quite a bit of activity, okay? If not, then you're just going through it mindlessly, right? You're doing one of these. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to stay in a nice, strong structure. I almost think about like squeezing the PVC pipe and trying to stretch it the whole time. That's going to give you a little extra tension. Good, we are almost there, then you're done. 15. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Awesome job, mamas. All right, very nice work today. Give yourself a pat on the back. Your shoulders are probably gonna be a little fatigued, a little sore, so some over-unders will feel good. Maybe hug yourself because that upper back's gonna be a little tight, right? If your hips are sore, whether the glutes or the outsides, a down dog is another good stretch, just to open it back up a little. Keeping the spine nice and long. So today's workout wasn't very intense, right? But we got a lot of work done in 20 minutes. Okay, so you should be feeling like you're standing a little taller, right? Maybe there's a little less nagging pains. And when I say pains, more discomfort, right? Like those shoulders being around, like that back pain, maybe that finds its way up here. It's creeping down in sciatica form. All right, so we should be feeling a little bit of relief through the body. All right, again, we should be able to feel like our chest can stay nice and proud and our shoulders are down. All right, good posture all the way through. All right, but thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Stay strong.